So don't rough up your bags. Don't of chips. Don't rough up. And we get into like our children about this when they assist.
Yeah.
Don't throw
Don't
bags.
throw.
Don't throw cookies. Don't throw sodas.
Don't throw your sodas.
Put sodas below other things if you're loading
Don't
bins.
crush your chips. You don't want to eat. You don't want to eat chippy chips. Like, come on.
All right, welcome back to the channel. Little vending for voyages. We got a voyage coming up in what, a week?
Yeah, a week today.
Yeah, so I think that'll be Liberty to Sea. So we're excited about that. But what's today about? Today is going to be about smart sourcing. So, what is sourcing? Well, it's what you're buying. Like, where are you getting it from?
Yeah.
So the biggest mistake that people make is they start as if they can offer every product imaginable. And the issue with that is you can't. If you're working out of your garage, right?
Yeah.
You're working out of a room in your house. Where are you going to put 300 items? So our current SKU is 280 items, and we have a little facility that we put stuff in, and it's still too small. So if you could only imagine the idea of trying to carry 100 plus items and putting in your garage, and also trying to stay food safe, it's difficult. Yeah. So don't get committed to that. And so where do you start at? Well, start small. Okay, obviously start small. Don't stockpile a bunch of anything really, but especially things that are date sensitive. So things like what? Chips would be.
Well, I mean, everything is technically date sensitive, but like we've noticed the sodas, your chips, your baked goods, candy bars have a date, but they're a longer date.
Yeah, but for sodas, I think it's important to understand that sodas, depending on kind of the form they come in, whether it be a 12-ounce can or a 16 or a 20-ounce bottle, bottles are not going to give you as long of a shelf life as a can would.
Yeah.
Additionally, think of it this way too. Different manufacturers, meaning different folks who make it, like Coke and Pepsi, different brands, are going to have different types of shelf life. Pepsi traditionally has a longer shelf life.
Yep.
Dr. Pepper Keurig, longer shelf life. Coke has the shortest of any of them.
And all diet sodas, no matter what brand they are, they have a shorter shelf life than anything we've seen.
Expired.
Yeah, and it's funny because Coke reps will tell you that they don't have long shelf lives.
Yeah.
Overall, I believe they're 90 days from the start of manufacture.
Yeah.
And
so most of the time that you get them, it's about a 45-day.
Yeah, distribution slows that process down. So obviously don't stockpile. The learning curve. Don't forget the learning curve. So what is the learning curve? If you're buying product in a new machine, buy small.
Yes. Don't
buy a bunch of inventory without understanding what the customer actually wants. Surveys, if you're taking surveys for your customers, that's great. In my belief, surveys serve a very limited purpose. Yeah. Most customers don't do them. Most customers don't care. They're there.
Well, and sometimes the customer that takes the survey isn't the one that's your customer.
Yeah, they won't be your primary customer.
Yeah.
It's like somebody got your email or saw it on the machine and distributed it to people who are not even your customers. So you will stockpile things at your location, like in your machine and at home or wherever you're storing your goods, and then you will find you have no customer for it.
Yeah.
So tread lightly when you're using surveys. Surveys have a limited utility in this environment. So the complexity killer. Why do you need to stay simple when it comes to the selection of the items you get? So for every new SKU, like every stock keeping unit, every type of item you get, you now have to keep track of it. You have to keep track of dates. You have to keep track of pricing. You have to keep track of, hey, how do I buy this? So if you're procuring items, right, at the end of the day, that are super expensive, that in all reality you're not going to sell, or you're only going to sell limited flavors, don't buy a ton of it, because ultimately you're going to have to price in the loss of some wild flavor into the rest of whatever that bulk pack is. So if everybody likes, say, in a Doritos mix variety 30 count, they like only the Doritos, but they don't like the regular Doritos, but they don't like Cool Ranch, you're going to have to price every single Cool Ranch as a loss, unless you have another machine to put it in where they like Cool Ranch. So be aware of that. When you go to fill a machine, it's going to be a lot easier to bring a bunch of best sellers than it is to bring onesie and twosie products. Meaning, I've sold a bunch of Doritos, but now I need to bring this wild chip that I decided to stock
Yeah.
that ultimately isn't really selling well. Some people are buying it. If it's not selling in a regular cadence or a regular time span, don't stock it. There's no reason to put it in there. You're going to get wild requests. People will ask for crazy things. And if there's only one person asking for it, there should be no reason to stock it.
Now, unless they're going to be your customer, like we've had a couple people. They're like, oh, we really like this product, and they buy it every single day. Malta, for example, we had one person ask for it, and he bought one or two a day, and then it caught on, and we sold, I don't know what, a whole case of it in a matter
like
of a matter of days.
We sell 80 or 90 a month, and that was an ask that in all reality would.
That was from one person, but mind you, he started buying it, and then it trickled into other people. So you have to be very cautious, but that's where your purchasing comes in. It's like, okay, well, we're gonna buy a little bit of it and see how it does, and then if they continue to purchase and sell us out of it, then you can buy more and stock it.
So what does the sourcing look like? Okay, where do you buy products? Well, if you're starting with one machine, in all reality, I would likely start at the grocery store with loss leaders. Well, what's a loss leader for a grocery store? It's something that drives you into the store, but in all reality, they're not making any money on.
For a great example, those of you that shop at Costco or Sam's, a loss leader is the rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, rotisserie chicken. They don't make any money on rotisserie chicken. That's just the way to bring you in. But for a grocery store, it's usually they're buy one, get one free, or they're heavily discounted things like, and that usually occurs on things like sodas and chips and things like that. So you can work those sales, and you can keep an eye on the actual expiration dates of those products, which really, at a small level, helps you kind of keep a pulse on what's going on with your one machine if you have one machine. Don't start at big box stores right off the bat. If you start off with big box stores like Costco's, Sam's, BJ's, and other wholesalers, you are going to be subject to expiration dates. Yes. So sourcing, that's not the place you start if you have a single machine. The biggest thing is it will eat into your margins and you will not see it. I have done it. We have done it. It has happened many, many times where we have thrown tons of product away for the sake of, we bought this thinking our customers wanted it. It was even on a survey. And ultimately what happened? We threw it away. So start with a batch of that product. Even if it costs you a little more, you're actually going to lose a lot less than buying a 64 count bag of food service size of chips, for instance.
You'll save yourself money in the long run by paying an extra 2 to 3 cents per item on your end versus throwing a whole box of it away.
Yes. And then last but not least, you have vending distributors like US Food Groups and Vistar, which you can use. Their minimum order for most locations is $2,000 to deliver to you. What we found is, guess what? Their pricing is not really any better on some items.
No.
But they do have a wider selection, so that can help as you grow, but it is definitely not where I would start. I wouldn't even investigate Vistar or US Foods, any of those large distributors that are set to that standard. I would not use right off the bat. Once you get to a certain size, sure. Okay. So how do we break this down for procurement, like buying things? Where do you start? Well, first and foremost, start small. Start with the grocery stores, okay? Start with the sales. Don't start with high-ticket items. Keep it simple. Check the dates. Make sure you've got at least 30 to 45 days out on most of your products. Without it, you may not sell enough to actually make any profit, okay? Make sure, and we don't cover this very often, but make sure you have vending style packaging. If you end up with standard like grocery size, like small packaging, like 1 ounce bags of chips, or even things that are set for bulk sale but are not designed for individual retail sale, most states are going to really, in all reality, let me rephrase this. Most laws do not allow you to sell items that do not have retail packaging. So you need to be aware of the packaging. If you buy it and then you try to stick it in your machine without retail packaging, that is a big problem.
Yeah,
so,
you could be fined.
when
So
you're buying items, just
Yeah.
make sure it has the packaging
So
on it.
your retail packaging, you're gonna buy a box, you know, of the goods, like Pop Tarts, for instance. Pop Tarts is a great thing because I've seen it all over TikTok and Instagram lately. The ones you get from the grocery store are individually wrapped, yes, but they don't have any markers on the outside. It has to have a brand, it has to have ingredients, and it has to have an expiration date for you to be able to sell it outside of that box. You can put that whole box in the machine if it'll vend, and that's fine. But as soon as you take it out of that box that has all the markings on it, it's now illegal for you to sell, or most likely frowned upon in most societies.
We're watching you.
Yes.
Well, imagine this, and we'll go over it, actual retail packaging and what the requirements of retail packaging are. But if it's important for buying, you need to buy something with retail packaging on it. Okay, and then obviously, last but not least, keep everything as clean as possible when you're purchasing. Meaning, if you're purchasing something that in all reality needs to look a certain way, make sure it stays that way. So don't rough up your bags, don't of chips, don't rough up. And we get into like our children about this when they assist.
Yeah.
Don't throw bags. Don't throw cookies. Don't throw sodas.
Don't throw your sodas.
Put sodas below other things if you're loading
Don't
bins.
crush your chips. You don't want to eat. You don't want to eat chippy chips. Like, come on.
When you buy, handle things as if they were your groceries.
Yes.
Okay. Because if somebody else is going to eat them, and ultimately this is a service business. So to kind of tail all this up, what do you got to do? You got to start small. You got to stay lean. You got to master what you're buying and understand that if you're buying something it needs to sell, start with a small quantity. That's how your business actually moves and scales up. And it also helps kind of fund the voyages, which is what we like to do.
Yes.
I like to cruise, and so that's what we like to do. If you can't keep your costs...
It's not just him. We love it too.
No, forget her. I'm not taking her with me. So ultimately, make sure you keep your costs low. And the biggest thing about cost is it's not just what you buy it for, but also losing things. Yes. So the shrinkage. You have to buy it for a certain price, and you got to know where to get it. We are going to cover where we get certain things in another video and give you a kind of an idea as far as where to procure certain things for the least amount of cost and the least amount of effort, because I'm lazy and I don't want to do more than I have to.
Well, I don't like to go shopping, and this is a great business to go shopping in.
Awesome. So I don't have anything else. You got anything else?
No.
Okay, great. So this is Vending for Voyages. If you got any comments or any questions, go ahead and leave those down below, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next time.